What the? Hold on a second. We were messing around last night with the camera, and now look what happened. Good morning, everyone. And welcome to the show. As soon as... Okay. Good morning, everyone. And welcome to the Level 1 Podcast. I don't know what you're talking about. Actually, you know what? Hold on a second. Alright, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Level 1 Podcast. How are all of you today? I hope you're doing well. Happy Friday. Today is Friday, indeed. May 19th, 2023. And I hope you're all doing well. And I hope you're ready for a chill and fun gaming day. Because today we're going to be continuing on with my big playthroughs in the rotation. Most notably, Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. And today's a big day for Zelda, because we're going to be heading into the first major dungeon. You know, the game has, I guess, 4 major dungeons, much like the last one did. And so we're going to be heading into the first of those, and we are just like at the doorstep. We're scaling up this giant tower of floating platforms in the sky. I'm excited to see how this dungeon pans out. If it's more of a traditional dungeon or more like the beast dungeons that were in Calamity, excuse me, Breath of the Wild. I guess what were they called? The Calamity dungeons? Or were they called beast dungeons? It was several years ago. I can't remember. But anyway, yeah, I'm interested to see how it pans out. I hope it's fun. You know, traditionally, the dungeons are some of the best parts of the game. Usually you get new abilities when you go to the dungeons. And I'm wondering, after we clear out this dungeon, if it'll change the climate of Rito Village, which has been frozen by a blizzard. Seems like this giant storm in the sky is what's causing the blizzard. So... they were called Calamity Beast Dungeons. Is that serious? Well, that's why I'm thinking both Beast and Calamity Dungeon. There you go. Okay, so I'm excited for that today. I'm excited to get back into the main Oblivion plot, as we've now been on a detour from playing Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion for like 2-3 weeks as we played through the Shivering Isles DLC. But now that's done, and we can finally head back into the main story and the end game. We're basically heading into the conclusion of the game, which is great, because it's been a playthrough that's been going on now for over almost 5 months, and we need to kind of wrap it up to focus on other stuff, right? And so, I am excited for a fun day today, and I hope that you guys are as well. It should be a good time. Chill podcast today, meaning, unlike yesterday, we don't have a ridiculous amount of stuff to talk about. I have maybe 2 news stories to cover today, so for the most part, it'll be kind of, you know, recapping what we're up to. And then doing some Q&A with you guys, seeing what you guys feel like you want to chat about today. And having it more be an open discussion rather than be a hyper-focus on a few topics. Which is good, because yesterday I literally talked for like an hour and a half, because there was so much to talk about. Alright? Man, what a cool week we got coming up. Like, I'm excited to get further into these games that we're playing. I actually played Star Wars yesterday, and I actually said to my wife last night that I'm really enjoying the playthrough, because she asked me, what do you think of Jedi Survivor now that you're further in, and has the game improved at all with all its issues? And I'm like, well, no. The graphics still are bad. The frame rate still chops up constantly and has a bunch of problems. And there's bugs out the ass. Like, the game crashes and has these issues. But if I ignore the bugs and the graphical issues, the game is great. The puzzles are fun. The world design is excellent. The combat is interesting. The abilities, the story. So far, I like everything in the game except the fact that it's unpolished. That if they'd spent a couple more months polishing this game, it likely would be way up there in my rankings of games this year. And in addition to that, I said to her, I feel like the end of this year is going to be a tough one. Because number one, think about the layout of games coming out this year. We've got not 1, not 2, but what appears to be 3 different major fighting games coming out this year that all look like they have potential to be polished fun and maybe even Game of the Year contenders. But in addition to that, we've got games that were supposed to be great that came out and were incredibly underwhelming. And then we've got games that have come out that are good but have startling issues that shouldn't exist. And it's going to be like, how on earth am I going to basically rank my games this year? It's going to be very tough. Like, I'm thinking in my head right now with Star Wars Jedi Survivor. There's so much I like about the game, and then there's all the frustrations of it being an unpolished mess. Does that mean it should be a Game of the Year contender? Does that mean it gets bumped down to an honorable mention? Does it make my most disappointing games of the year list because it's disappointing that it is unpolished and it would be a game of the year contender if it weren't? See what I mean? And we're you know, just kind of starting to get into games this year that are interesting contenders. So it's a unique year for sure. And like Star Wars, I'm really enjoying. I can't wait to play more. Honestly, like I can't wait to jump in and play more Star Wars. We're having a good time with it. But you know, at the same time, when's the next thing gonna happen, right? But anyway, great playthrough of that so far. It's actually getting better the further I get in. I really like the broad saber. Yes, it's a broadsword style lightsaber, which is really fun to use right now. So I hope you guys are enjoying it too, and I hope you'll give it a chance, because I know a lot of people saw the first 1 to 2 sessions of Jedi Survivor and were like, yeah, it looks like shit, it's running terribly, I'm not going to check it out any further. Some people on the internet, you know, who normally would do playthroughs, dropped the game entirely after 1 week. They were like, nah, it runs like shit and no one really cares about it. And that's sad, because I really do think the game is good, and people aren't giving it a chance because it runs so poorly. And that's I mean, that's not the fault of the streamer or content creator. That's definitely the fault of the game developer for releasing it in that state. But at the same time, a game that maybe deserves more attention and no one's really talked about it when it's actually quite good. But, you know, I'm excited for today for sure. Zelda's been a great game so far. I was apprehensive about having to constantly use this building combining system. So far, it's not a big deal. I actually feel like it's getting better the further in I get, and it's not. The whole building system, is it a little annoying? In some cases it is, but at the same time, I don't feel like it's ruining the game. I actually feel like I am having fun. Although, admittedly, I don't feel it plays like a Zelda game at all. But that's okay, I guess, because I guess they're done with traditional Zelda. Like, it feels like they moved on and they don't think that traditional Zelda will sell anymore, which is why they've gone into this open world, more modernized formula. And by the way, Tears of the Kingdom, the best-selling Zelda launch ever. Yep, sold 10 million copies in 3 days. So, since it is the best-selling Zelda in history, I'm assuming Nintendo's going to follow suit with more. Anyway, I'm having a good time with it. I can't wait for more. And, of course, tonight with Oblivion as well. Shall we just go through the schedule quickly? I might as well just get the schedule out of the way, all right? So today, that's the schedule. It's Zelda and then Oblivion. Tomorrow, it's React Day. So tonight, I'll be heading on over to DSP Reacts, my sister channel. That's youtube.com/@DSPReacts. I'll be looking at all the clips that the members have submitted over the course of this week. I'll be forming the playlist in which people will be submitting said clips. By which people submitted the clips. Let's try this again. I'll be making the playlist by which we'll be watching said clips tomorrow on the show. I don't know. I'm having a brain fart today. And so tomorrow's first stream is over on DSP Reacts after the podcast here. 3 hours of watching fun reacting clips. It should be a good time, as always. I hope that people are following suit with the variety, because we're seeing bigger variety the last couple of weeks, and it's actually ended up being really interesting because of that, so I hope we can keep that up. Then tomorrow night, it'll be more Final Fantasy V Pixel Remaster on the late stream. Sunday, indeed, is finally, I feel like I've been talking about it forever, the Fight and Feast event, the Street Fighter Marathon, where we're playing old school Street Fighter, and you guys will be voting both on the games as well as the characters I pick in those old school fighting game runs. We'll be doing Tier Maker, and I have a big announcement. I have determined what 2 tier makers we will be doing, because I was looking last night. I spent some time, and I found 2 really good tier makers. First of all, fighting game franchises in general. So we're talking Street Fighter versus Mortal Kombat versus Tekken versus Virtua Fighter, but then we're breaking it down into other smaller franchises like the Versus series, the Injustice game line, right? Guilty Gear, Blaze Blue, all right? And then even further down into the more nuanced King of Fighters, right? You know, Fighting Vipers. Who remembers that? Probably none of you. The Last Blade, Art of Fighting, and Fatal Fury. And we keep going. So we're going to be ranking all of those fighting game franchises against each other in a tier maker event. In addition, we're also going to be ranking Street Fighter characters. So yes, characters from the original Street Fighter 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And I think they even added in new characters from 6, which is kind of stupid because no one's played with them yet. So it's kind of hard to rank them. But we will be ranking Street Fighter characters against each other as well. Now, you might say, well, that doesn't sound too interesting, because wouldn't a godlike character like Akuma always be on top while everyone else is underneath? Well, yes and no, because you have to understand that this is not necessarily what you're thinking. It's not, oh, competitive nature. It's just ranking in general. You could be ranking overall power level. You could be ranking character design. You could be ranking their competitive nature across various games. You could just be ranking cool factor. For example, if you're going by power level, actually Oro should be the top, because Oro is the most powerful character in the Street Fighter universe. You may not realize that, but he is. But he's such a weird character, right, that you wouldn't even know that. So does Oro make top tier, S tier, or does he go lower, right? We have to. This is the kind of stuff we have to figure out, and I think a ranking of that could take hours to figure out, seriously. So we're gonna have a lot of fun doing this stuff on Sunday. In addition to that, there's gonna be some food. That's right, 3 recipes from the Street Fighter cookbook. The remaining ingredients that we didn't have should be arriving today, so that'll be fun to have them arrive, and then have my wife plan out how she's gonna make this stuff over the course of Sunday. We'll be doing live taste tests of these recipes from the Street Fighter cookbook during the show. In addition to that, we're going to probably do a fantasy battle royale, which I'll be setting up probably tomorrow night, of all the fighting game characters beating each other up in a 30-man fantasy over-the-top rope battle royal in WWE 2K. So we've got a lot of stuff planned for Sunday's show. I think it's going to be a really great marathon event. It's going to be fun as hell, and I hope that you guys will join me and chill for the fun. It's going to be great. It really is. I know it's going to be lengthy, but it's going to be a really awesome way to get back into fighting games and get hyped up for Street Fighter 6 coming out on June 2nd. And then Monday, Tuesday, we swing back to regular gameplay. It'll probably be Star Wars Jedi Survivor on Monday paired with Oblivion. And then Tuesday, it'll probably be more Zelda paired with more Final Fantasy. By that point, we might actually be heading into near endgame of Final Fantasy, because we're just on the precipice of heading into the final third of the game. So we'll see. But yeah, so good stuff this week. All right, and then next week, the final week of May, the focus will be on progress in Zelda and Star Wars, and progress in trying to finish up Oblivion and Final Fantasy V. And then if we have time, if we end up finishing one of those late night games, bringing back Elden Ring into the mix. And we'll be balancing all these games until the release of Street Fighter 6. Okay? There we go. Good stuff coming on the horizon, my friends. All right, so that's that for the schedule. Keep in mind, we have some new additions on the streams. For example, if we hit a likes goal of 100 likes on any particular stream now, we will have a bubble gun blow. Thanks to the donation of a viewer and fan. Thank you so much. And if for special occasions, I just might have to go guns akimbo if we got something really special that we're celebrating. All right, very nice. You guys, I did these a bunch yesterday, and you guys really seem to like them. As you could already see, the bubble juice already is down by about 10% from one day's use. So these things go crazy through the bubbles. Pretty cool, though. It's fun. So that's a new addition to the streams, okay? Outside of that, yes, it is true. The support streak continues. We have had 14 straight streams. 14 straight streams where we have hit the support goals. All right? In addition to just hitting those support tips goals, there's also been an abundance of super chats, memberships, gifted memberships. It's been a really great week here on DSPGaming. Will we keep that streak up? I have no idea. And I'm not going to talk about it all day, but it is worth mentioning at least once a day, I guess, to say, you know, how it's going. And thank you, everyone who is contributing to that. Obviously, one of the major supporters is Jinx. He's the person who's been dropping the giant tips every day. But we also have many other people who've been coming by and contributing via various other methods. We have people who've been giving a lot of engagement to the channel this week. I really appreciate that. You know why it's extra special? Because this is a slow time for games. Outside of Zelda, everything else I'm playing is kind of a not very hype game, correct? So when there's only really one big game of note going on, and let's be honest, it's a first-party Nintendo title, and I don't really get a lot of attention for those. This is more of a slower month for me. Things are definitely going to pick up when it comes to attention in June. Street Fighter 6, Diablo 4, Final Fantasy 16, and other things in between. That's going to be a big, big, big month. All right, I know that. We're going to get more eyes on the channel than we've had in months. People are going to be excited to see me covering these games. Me too. But we still got a couple of weeks before we get there. So it's nice to see the level of support that this channel has been getting, especially when there's not anything too crazy in particular going on the channel, all right? In addition to that, let's be honest, okay? Over on DSP Reacts, it's been quite slow. If you haven't noticed, I definitely have not done much content on that channel this week. I was doing pretty much 2 to 3 reviews a week at one point, and the reviews just weren't getting any attention. You know, I'm putting out a review and it gets 400 views. Then why did I bother, right? If no one really cares and no one is interested in those reviews, then I'll wait and we'll hold off and we'll find something that's going to be something you guys want to see me do for a review. All right? However, the React channel will definitely pick up this week, because just think about the Fight and Feast on Sunday. We're going to have runs in classic fighting games and the Battle Royale that we're going to do here on DSPGaming, and they'll be uploaded here. That's all gameplay. But we're going to have multiple tier maker videos. We're going to have the food recipe videos for Street Fighter. And I might also do a meal. Like, I think I was talking to my wife, and we're saying, what are we going to do for dinner? Because the food that she's making over the course of the day for the Street Fighter recipes is made more to be like a snack stuff. It's not really a meal. So we're saying, what are we going to get? We might just order like a sandwich or something from somewhere. But I might do like a quick sandwich review video. And that'll probably also go live on DSP Reacts. So there's going to be a good amount. By the way, I'm just going to start banning people right now because I've had enough. I'm serious. I'm really tired of this bullshit. Okay, here we go. Here's another one. I'm just going to ban like 10 people. Want to know why? Because they're scumbags. They're sitting here, all right, and here I am talking about all kinds of topics, and all they're doing is harassing Jinx in the chat for being supportive this week. So fuck all of you, and you're all getting banned right now because I know you're just fucking sitting here to try to ruin things for everyone. You're assholes, okay? So there's 4. Here's 5. Let's keep going. Here's 6. Here's 7. I'm just going to keep going. Because I've had enough of your shit. I laid down the law last week. It's like you guys are fucking deaf or something. No, I'm not going to put up with your fucking bullshit. You're going to come in here. You're going to harass other people. You're going to be stupid and talk only about, like, fuck you. So I got like 8 people. Should I keep going? Should I literally just ban every person? Oh, here's another one. That's 9. Okay, let's keep going. Because, you notice I mentioned it, and I moved on. Immediately, I'm on other topics. And then I look back, and here's all these fucking, support, Jinx, support, Jinx, support, Jinx, 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 fuck you. I've had enough of your shit. I'm really done with this shit. It's to the point where, like, every day I'm just going to come in, I'm going to look for these fucking new sock accounts and just wipe them out. I had enough. Here's another one. And here's another one. Where'd all these generic accounts come from? I'm serious. I just banned like 14 of them. They've only been here for like a week. It's like they sit in the fucking wings. They literally sit here in the wings waiting for moments like this. And then they fucking all come out together. There's like 14, 15 of them. Well, I just got rid of like 14, 15 of them. There. Now half the chat's empty because I got rid of all the fucking idiots. Here we go. Here's another one. It's unbelievable. What's up, Arkham? How you doing? Good to see you here today. Here's another one. You see what I mean? What it is it's this one. Here's the truth. It's not a lot of people. I want you guys to understand that. There's an element in my chat. It's about 15 to 20 idiots. And they've been here for years. And what it is they always come in with a new account. So they act like idiots, right? They get banned. Then they come back and they act nice. And they do it for a few weeks and now everyone knows who they are. And then they start acting like assholes again. And then they get banned again. And then it was like, oh my god, I can't believe that person got banned. Because it's the same group of people. It's like the same dozen people doing it. So they all, oh my god, I can't believe my buddy got banned. But then they're all gone and then they all come back again with more sock accounts. It's the same fucking people over and over and over. And it's ridiculous that they try to toxify these streams. I'm not going to allow it. I'm putting down my fucking foot on these fucking stupid bugs that are underneath our feet. I'm tired of this shit. I should be able to mention the fact, that is a fact, that we've had a significant streak of awesome support and progress and awesome fun here on the streams in the last week and a half. And I shouldn't have to have them people start harassing one of the major people who's been supporting. Right? What a bunch of fucking idiots. Like, what did you think was going to happen? I was going to be happy? There's fucking, again, these people have no brains in their fucking heads. It's like a bunch of vacuous, sucking black holes where their brains should be. How do they function? Who wipes their ass for them after they shit? Because it ain't them. Let me tell you, they probably got giant crusty things growing in their bungholes. But anyway. let's get back to what I was talking about. Food. Yes. So what I was saying was, I know you guys, if you've been a follower of DSP Reacts, you probably noticed in the past couple of weeks, it slowed down, right? We did a tier maker about a week to a week and a half ago. That was a really good one. That was ranking the Zelda games for the launch of Zelda, correct? But then after that, I haven't really done anything besides DSP versus the internet. It's been almost a whole week. You might say, well, what happened? You were putting out these other things. The reviews just weren't doing that well. I mean, I could continue to watch stuff on HBO Max or Amazon Prime, but I'm reviewing these older shows and movies, and people don't seem to care. So I'm not going to spend time on that if people don't care. What people have told me was wait for something new to come out that's hype and interesting. Get whatever service it's on, whether it's Disney Plus or Hulu or Apple Video, which I don't even know what the hell it is, but apparently there's something called Apple Video, or Paramount Plus, or what's the other one? Peacock, or whatever it is, and then review it when it's new and live. Okay, fair enough, I'll do that when something new comes out. But I've been listening, and you guys haven't really had any ideas of something brand new right now. The biggest thing is the Super Mario Brothers movie, which is on demand right now for $30. No, I'm not spending $30 on the Super Mario Brothers movie. When it gets to a reasonable amount to rent, like $5, then I'll get it and watch it with my wife, and I'll review it for you, and I'll let you know what I thought. But I'm not going to be fucking dropping $30 on this movie that I don't even know if I'm going to like, and I certainly don't want to own forever, okay? So, besides that, there's really nothing else going on, so there's been nothing on that channel. But now you're going to have DSP versus the internet tomorrow, and then you're going to have all this cool stuff from the Fight and Feast on Sunday, including the Street Fighter recipe videos, if I have another food video, and the tier maker rankings. So there should be a good amount of variety of content that'll be available on DSP Reacts over the course of this week. And then after that, what we really need to start thinking about is what's the next long-form event you guys want. Do you want a long-form React in June? Because we didn't do one here in May. But do you want a long-form React of some style in June? Or would you prefer if we do another kind of gaming event here on DSP Gaming? Because we did, the Fight and Feast. Do you have an idea for another one? It's up to you. I'll do either, but we can only do one a month, and that's something we determined a couple months ago. Is doing 2 a month, it takes too much away from the games I'm playing, and considering the fact that this month coming up, we've got Street Fighter 6, plus Diablo, plus Final Fantasy 16, plus other stuff going on, there's no way I could take a ton of time away from the gameplay. So, yeah, we have to basically sit down and determine what we want. What do you guys think, right? What would you want? I'm curious what you would want next month. Think about it, because we got to start talking about it seriously, okay? Okay. Anyway, so all that being said, that's the deal for now. Hope that sounds good. Great content this month with gameplay, but I know it's been slower, because really Zelda's the biggest thing. Zelda's great, by the way, but Zelda is not going to bring viewers to this channel, because this channel is not known for being a Nintendo channel, nor has it ever been really that kind of a focus. I do enjoy playing Nintendo games for sure, but they don't really bring butts to seats, as they say. So, okay, all right, so that's the schedule. I do have a couple quick news stories I'd like to cover. All right, and then we're just gonna kind of jump into shout outs and open Q&A. Like I said, this is gonna be a much more relaxed stream. Hold on. So, 3 different stories to cover. First of all, it is official. The Street Fighter 6 open beta is live. It went live last night. Initially, when they opened it, the servers got completely slammed. Not surprising, because this is the open beta. This is not the closed beta that Street Fighter 6 had twice in the past. But this is everyone on the internet trying to slam in there and play this game for the very first time. So the servers got destroyed for like 2 hours. They applied patches, they reassessed, and apparently it's running now. I'm hearing mixed results. I'm hearing some people are saying it is kind of not great right now, and other people are like, no, they're having a good experience. So I think it depends on where you are and what servers you're connecting to. But for the most part, people seem to be enjoying the open beta of Street Fighter 6. So if you're interested, it's on all platforms. Like, you can play it on PlayStation, Xbox, or PC. It is completely live all weekend. If you want to play Street Fighter 6, go for it. It's the same 8 characters from the other 2 betas, so it's nothing new. Sadly, there's going to be try-hard idiots who hacked this fucking beta back in December, been playing it on PC for 5 months, and are just going to beat everyone's ass because they think that they're special. In fact, it's just the size of their e-penises that they're stroking, but in reality, it's hilarious because these people will probably just start getting bodied when the real game comes out next month anyway. But anyway, yeah, so that's live. Check it out and enjoy. I'm not playing it for various reasons. Number one, because I already had the Fight and Feast marathon scheduled for this Sunday, and I'm not changing it at this point after having hyped it up that much, okay? Number two, because I already played this beta. I already played it both in December and, what was it, October? I played it twice, and having already played the beta twice, it wouldn't make sense for me to be playing the same exact beta again, alright? Like, why would I do that? I've already played with these 8 characters. So, if you already saw everything the beta had to offer, which I did, there's absolutely no reason to go back and play the beta a third time. It's identical, right? If they had changed it a little bit, tweaked it, if they'd added new characters, which I wish they were going to add new characters, they did not. Since it's just more of the same, I'm going to abstain from the beta this weekend. I'm just going to do my normal stuff. But I'm, you know, I wish that they would have done us like a second wave beta that would have been better, but they have not. Okay, so. Now, just so you guys know, my internet's having some problems. I'm checking right now. Yep. My internet is all over the place. It's spiking high up, then it's going down, then it's spiking. So you're going to see frame drops on the stream. The connection is continuing. It just looks like you're going to have a lot of frame drops right now. Hopefully this clears up within a few minutes. It's good that it's actually doing it now during the podcast rather than during gameplay. It happens. It looks like there's some noise in the line today. It'll probably clear up within a few minutes. So everyone just be calm. It should be all right. Okay? If you're getting buffering, if you restart the stream, hopefully it'll fix it. Like I said, it's kind of going like this right now. It looks like a wave. It's going like this. Whoa! Now it's in the green again. But watch it now dip down to yellow, red, then back up to green. It looks like it's going like this, like you're surfing, right? That's what it looks like. It's alright. It's a little bit of noise. It should be alright. No big deal. Okay. Continuing on. No, don't panic. Gamer guy, stop that right now. No panicking. Okay. Alright, continuing on. Get this. This is an interesting story from this morning. China, much like the rest of the world, has a regulatory board for video games. Okay? Now, as you know, Microsoft is in the process of trying to purchase Activision Blizzard. Right? Well, as you know, all the world kind of regulatory boards have been trying to weigh in on this situation, on should they allow this purchase or not. And some places have been saying yes. In fact, the European Union just this past week said yes, 2 thumbs up. Let's go through with that. Let's have it good. It's fine. We don't see any problem with it. But the UK has had this weird regulatory board that idiotically thinks that somehow Game Pass on the Xbox has to do with cloud gaming and that they like are controlling the cloud gaming market when they're not. All right? It really makes no sense whatsoever. It's just really stupid. But, you know, it's idiotic basically. But that's how it works, I guess, right? And so, you know, it is what it is. You just kind of shake your head that the UK seems to be the one body that doesn't really understand this whole thing and is trying to hold it up. Well, China, overnight, they have a state administration. That's their board, I guess, that makes these kind of decisions. Even they came out and said, we believe... Oh, I'm sorry. It's China's State Administration for Market Regulation. That's what their board... I guess it's called the CSAMR. That's what it's called, okay? They have reportedly unconditionally approved the Xbox and Activision Blizzard merger. They have reviewed it, and you think if... Listen. There's make no bones about it. All right? It's not all bed of roses, rainbows, and unicorns between the United States and China. Okay? We don't have the best of relations. We're completely different political philosophies, different kinds of governments. All right? So you would think if anyone was going to give the hard time to this, it would have been China. And this board said, no, it's okay. Green stamp it, go for it. So if it's okay in China, they don't have a problem with it, right? Then you got to wonder, what is the problem with the UK? Why is the UK being so ridiculous about this situation? Why is the UK being absolutely so ridiculous about this buyout? It just doesn't make any sense at all. All right? By the way, yes, my internet's going crazy right now. Look at this. It's crapping out. The internet is crapping out. Here, I'll actually type in the chat. Yes, the internet is crapping out. I'm waiting for it to come back fully. It's not good. Laughing out loud. See, my laptop, I believe, is now connected to my downstairs internet. I think it is. I think I'm connected to the wireless downstairs in the laptop. So the laptop chat should continue to work. Let me see here. The laptop chat should continue to work because I believe I am on the downstairs internet with this. Yeah. However, the stream is on the upstairs modem and that's having issues. Yeah. It's definitely not a DDoS, just so you guys know. If it were a DDoS, all right, a DDoS would basically be my entire internet drops out. Just boom. Completely dead. All right? But that's not what's happening. What's happening is the internet is going way down, then going up, then going way down again, then going up, then going way down. It's noise in the line. And I'm just going to wait a bit. It's probably going to clean itself up. It's actually a good thing I didn't have a lot to talk about on today's podcast, too. Here we go. Okay, so FYI, the internet is fluctuating badly. I'm waiting for it to stabilize. Stabilize. It's not a DDoS or anything. No worries there. It's definitely an issue with the line ISP for now because it's fluctuating everywhere. It's like crazy. Like right now it's up to, it was all the way up to like 17, 18,000 kilobits per second. Now it's down to 5,000. It's all over the place. It's like, whoa, like this, whoa, whoa, which it's supposed to be solid. It's supposed to be, I stream around 12,000 kilobits per second. And it's supposed to be solid. And every day usually is. It's just weird right now. So we'll wait. It'll probably improve. You guys just got to be patient. All right. But we'll continue on with the show. All right. So anyway. All right. FYI, if China is okay with this merger, right? Why on earth wouldn't the UK be? So that's what I mean. Like, they seriously would be in a situation where China would want to interrupt and interfere with United States commerce. They would be the ones, haha, let's try to hold this up or whatever. But they're not. Anyway, that's just what's going on there. No updates on the UK situation. We got to hope for the best there. Okay, we have one more piece, one more news story. All right, one more news story. And this news story is regarding Mortal Kombat 1. All right? Or Mortal Kombat 12. Or whatever you want to call it. All right? It's the new Mortal Kombat that is coming out in the fall. All right? Whatever it may be. So this new Mortal Kombat coming out in the fall, all right, is another reboot. It's the second reboot. And they announced it yesterday, and people seem to be excited. I'm excited. It looks good. But there was a leak. All right? There was a leak. If you're wondering, what is this leak? What could it be? They have leaked the entire Season 1 DLC. But it wasn't NetherRealm that did it. It was Amazon. Because I guess in Amazon Italy, only the Italian version of Amazon's website, you could somehow buy the Season 1 pass. I don't know what they're calling it. The Combat Pass or something like that. Okay. But, yeah, so this Combat Pass is going to include a variety of characters. Supposedly, these are the DLC fighters for Season 1 as listed on Amazon Italy. Ready? Quan Chi, okay, you know, he was the antagonist of Mortal Kombat 4. Him and Shinnok were the two big baddies in Mortal Kombat 4, so that makes sense that he'd be in it. Omni-Man. What? Omni-Man, if you're not aware, is one of the characters of, what's it called? Invincible? It's that comic book and also, it's a comic book, but it's also a TV show on Amazon Prime, an animation, correct? It's supposed to be really, really gory, correct? I haven't seen it, so I don't know. But I've heard essentially like Invincible is kind of similar to The Boys, where it's like an adult-rated superhero show. But Omni-Man is supposed to be like the main character of it. Now, that would make sense if he really is, like, a character who's, like, really, like, cutthroat, gory, or whatever. Then maybe he would fit into the Mortal Kombat universe. Maybe he's ruthless. He's just going to be ripping people's arms off and beating them with them and, you know, doing crazy fatalities and stuff. I guess that would make sense, right? That would kind of fit. Then, Ermac. Alright, well, Ermac has always been a hidden character in the Mortal Kombat franchise. And there's different versions of Ermac over the years. Isn't he supposed to be, like a what do you call it? Like a dark shaman or something? I can't exactly remember what exactly they're called, but he has, like, he's like a magician, right? Ermac. It's where I always get him and Noob Saibot confused, because Noob Saibot's supposed to be like a ghost, right, or something, while Ermac is supposed to be like a shaman who works for Shao Kahn or something, right? I don't know. Anyway, by the way, the stream seems to be back, guys. If you're wondering, I'll type in the chat now. Okay. FYI, the stream seems to be fully back now. My connection has been stable for over a minute. So I think the issues are done. Try refreshing. There you go. Exactly. I never went anywhere. I was here streaming the whole time. It's just the internet was going crazy. Now it seems alright. Okay. There you go. So anyway, Omni-Man and Ermac. Then, get this, Takeda. Now, Takeda was... I'm trying to remember who Takeda is. Who is Takeda? Does anyone know who this character is? Takeda. It sounds familiar. I feel like I've played with them before, but I don't exactly know who Takeda is. Right? Of course, now the chat's going crazy because the chat's all at staggered different times. So some people are like 30 seconds to a minute behind, while other people are in time with me. So they can't really respond. Takeda was from Mortal Kombat 10. I thought he was in one of them. He's from Mortal Kombat 10 with the whips. With the whips. A character with the whips? The stream is not dead. The stream is still going. Combat Kid? Some people are saying the stream is dead. The stream shows as working for me. My stream is still going. Can you see it? Nothing has changed. It ended, I refreshed, and you're back. This is crazy. My internet's been green for like 4 minutes. I don't know. Oh, how stupid. Well, sadly, this is what happens sometimes. With, you get an internet issue or whatever. Everything's fine. I'm checking. Everything's fine on my end, just so you guys know. No worries. Everything is alright. It just seemed to be an internet issue. Yep, it was a stupid intermittent internet issue, and now the stream seems to be going smooth. So apologies for those who the stream died, but it should be working now. Okay? We're back. We're good. Alright, hopefully you guys stick around. I know the viewership went from over 400 people down to 100, and now it's trying to climb back up. It should be fine. Just refresh. Okay. So, Takeda, who apparently people are saying is a dual whip user from Mortal Kombat 10. I don't necessarily remember this character. Now, the last two were already characters that were speculated would be in the next Mortal Kombat. The first one is Peacemaker. Alright? Can I be honest here? Why is Peacemaker being overhyped and acted like he's a popular character? Okay, first of all, he's not. Alright? The Suicide Squad reboot movie by James Gunn did not do well. It underperformed massively. It did not get the attention that it thought it was going to get, nor did it make a good amount of money. In addition to that, the Peacemaker show that was made as a follow-up to the movie, right, didn't do as well as they wanted because they thought the movie was going to be a hit. Now, a lot of people know Peacemaker because he had a whole show and it's John Cena. But let's be honest here. It's not a big deal. Alright? And, can I be frank? the Peacemaker character is not very interesting. I watched the entirety of the Peacemaker show, and actually I think the other characters in the show are more interesting than Peacemaker himself. I think he's one of the more boring characters in the show, and he's not very well written either. They're trying to make him funny and cringy, and he's not very funny or cringy. It's you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I thought the overwhelming plot line of Peacemaker, the alien invasion plot line, was far more interesting than anything the character did in the show. The character was kind of blasé and boring and cheesy. So, it's just stupid because of all the characters you could have had, right? And put them into this game, they just had to put Peacemaker in. Probably, honestly, because they wanted John Cena. That's my guess. Again, they thought, oh, it's the hype of having a show based around a guy. It's John Cena, a pro wrestler, whatever. I think it's dumb. Because what's he going to do? Shoot you with a gun and do a combo because he's a bulky guy, so he does like clubbing blows and then he shoots you with his gun. Wow, Peacemaker. We totally haven't had characters like that in Mortal Kombat before or anything, right? He's going to be boring. He is, I'm telling you, he's going to be super boring and generic and not an interesting character, in my opinion. The only thing is if he's actually voice acted by John Cena, that'll be a gimmick and that'll be it. Alright? The other character, Homelander, who is, you know, one of the main antagonists of The Boys. But the thing that gets me about that is they're having Omni-Man and Homelander? I mean, let's be honest here. They already have Superman and Injustice, right? Omni-Man is essentially an evil Superman. Homelander is essentially a immature, underdeveloped evil Superman. You know what I'm saying? So it's like they put two of the same character in. Like, what's going to be the difference? They both are supposed to be like Superman. So I'm curious, what's going to be the discerning difference between the two to be two different fighting game characters? They can both fly. They both have super strength. They both have weird, like, elemental powers, right? I don't know. I guess we'll have to see. So again, DLC fighters: Quan Chi, Omni-Man, Ermac, Takeda, Peacemaker, and Homelander. That's apparently the first season of DLC for Mortal Kombat 1 or Mortal Kombat 12 or whatever you want to call this this game, right? So does that seem interesting? I guess it really depends, you know, on various factors, right? Whether or not, you know, we watch those shows or whatever. It seems all right. Like, I think, for me, I'm not so much into the expansion passes for these games anyway. As you know, with Mortal Kombat, typically I'll play it at launch. I'll play through the story. I'll usually play the launch cast. I'll try them all out, play them online, do some crypt gameplay. You know, the crypt, which is the offline, single-player mode with all the unlockables. And I do online play. And within maybe a couple of weeks, I'm kind of not that interested in Mortal Kombat anymore, especially once the meta gets developed and everyone online figures out how to abuse the lag and shit. It's kind of like, nah, alright, it was fun for a couple of weeks. I got good content out of it, but now I'm moving on. I don't know if I would go back and buy a season pass to play as those characters in Mortal Kombat. I don't know. You know, but it's the same for every fighting game. Same thing with Street Fighter 6, you know. They've already announced their season pass, characters like Rashid and Akuma. And that's all well and good, but again, I don't know if that's something that I would be interested in to get the season pass, because I don't know how the base game is going to play. Is it going to be something with longevity that I want to play over time and do like Friday night fights every week in Street Fighter, or is it going to be a game that I play for several weeks and then eventually I scale back and I don't play it as much and I'm not really that interested in it? I guess we'll have to see how it goes, okay? One interesting thing is, though, is that Street Fighter doesn't have guest characters, while Mortal Kombat has had guest characters for a while now, right? Injustice too. Injustice has like guest characters, and so does Mortal Kombat, and so does Tekken. But Street Fighter doesn't. That is weird that Street Fighter keeps the guest characters out. I guess it's because maybe the one game they tried, Street Fighter Cross Tekken, failed miserably. So now they're deathly afraid of having other franchise characters in their games. Maybe. I don't know. Anyway, that's really all the news I have for today. Nothing too special. Sorry that my internet was going crazy there. We lost about 16,000 frames of animation. I'm not shitting you. With 60 frames a second, we lost about 16,000 frames of animation during that lag. But it seems like the lag is now cleared up. So hopefully, not an issue. Okay? Alright, so thank you guys. You know, I'm debating turning the air conditioner on. It's cooler here today in Washington. It's only going to be about in the 70s outside, which is great. We've had 80 to 90 degree weather for over a week. The heat wave is over, but this office still gets very stuffy. And so I'm just debating. It's 80 degrees in here right now. I'm debating turning the air conditioner on like low. It feels okay in here right now, but I get the feeling it's going to definitely heat up and be way stuffy in here if I don't turn it on. Alright, let's see how it goes. Anyway, so now look guys, let's get the shout outs. Remember, thank you so much. This has been an absolutely positive, outstanding week for DSP Gaming. You guys have given an amazing amount of support this week. I really, really, really appreciate you guys supporting the content as much as you have. There's no telling if our streak of support will continue. If it doesn't, thank you for a great week. It's fine. We don't need to sit here and talk about it constantly. I literally already banned over a dozen people sitting in here talking about support and jinx and all that shit, and I'm not putting up with it. I'm not putting up with these trolls coming in with their dummy ass accounts. I'm just gonna wipe them out every time I see them. All right, understand it's not what the stream is about, but let's get the shout outs. Let's see how things go today. Okay, here we go. We start off today with Sticky Whizzle Teats. Oh, excuse me. Stinky Whizzle Teats. I forgot there was a stinky, not sticky. Oh. Hello, Eternal Napalm. How are you doing today? It's good to have you on the stream. Okay, so Stinky Whizzle Teats. Yes, I know it's from Ren and Stimpy. I know it is. Did a super chat and says, I love the Oblivion streams, though. Well, I'm glad you do. I do, too. I'm having a great time with Oblivion. And by the way, this was a game that when I started playing it back in December, January, I wasn't sold it was going to work as a playthrough because I played Morrowind previously, and that didn't work. After, you know, maybe 15, 20 hours, I got super bored and didn't want to play it anymore. But it ended up working out. It's been a great playthrough these last 5-6 months since Christmas, but at the same time, you get to a point where, like, all right, this has just kind of gone on too long. You know what I mean? Like, I really feel like now we've played this game for so long, and now I need this time. I need these night streams to start making better progress in the other games. We've got multiple games I'm juggling, and it's like I've got time constraints now because we've got new games coming out in early June, and I gotta have everything ready for that. So I hear ya. I've loved Oblivion. We've had a great fun doing every single guild, doing tons of side questing and all of that, but it is finally time to wrap it up, in my opinion. Okay. So thank you very much, Stinky. Devin did a super chat. It says James Gunn's Suicide Squad was sadly overshadowed by the 2016 Suicide Squad. That I definitely agree with. That and Warner's strategy to put movies in theaters and HBO Max in 2021. That I agree with. Do you want to know what else I agree with? Having the fucking cast cross over to make you think it's the same movie. It has the same Margot Robbie Harley Quinn, right? Even though the character is different in the new movie, you think it's the same character, right? They had Captain Boomerang return for all of 5 fucking minutes, the same actor, right? It's like, why did they do that? If you really wanted to say, okay, this is a new Suicide Squad movie, it's got James Gunn behind it, so it's going to have that Guardians of the Galaxy vibe, you know, give it another shot. Even if you didn't like the 2016 one, give this new one a shot. Great. Then what you should do is not fucking have the same cast in it. Make it completely fresh from the beginning so everyone knows this is a brand new movie with new stuff. It was such confusion around this movie. Is this a sequel? Or is it a redo of the same movie from 2016? If it has the same cast, did you just refilm a new movie? It's the same. And then, just like you said, it was both on demand at home on HBO Max during the pandemic, but also there was theaters, but no one was going to the theater at the time. It was just ultra confusing. And what's funny is Inara says, well, it's no different than comics. They do one-shot issues. Yes, in comics. Comic books. Not multi-million-dollar movies that take entire 5-year shooting plans to film and put out and market. There's a big difference here between we made a comic book one-off and took a chance on it versus we invested insane amounts of time and money and effort into a movie that now flopped because we had insanely mixed messaging and no one knows what the fuck it is. You know? That's a big problem, a big difference. They treated it like a one-off special comic book when it's not what it was. Oh, by the way, they were already banking on it being successful because they made a whole Peacemaker series on the side that didn't get as much attention as they had hoped. Why? Because the movie didn't do good. That's why. If the movie had done great, then the Peacemaker show would have exploded. Everyone would be talking about it. Literally, no one talks about it because the movie flopped. Anyway, thank you, Devin. I agree with you. There was a special combination of factors that made the movie kind of fail. At the same time, I've seen the movie, and it's just passable. Like, the main characters who are supposed to be the main characters, like, what's his name? Is it Deadshot? It's not Deathstroke. Is it Deadshot, or is it... No, it's the other guy. The guy played by Idris Elba. I forgot his name. This is the other thing. The characters played by Will Smith and Idris Elba are identical. Even though they're not the same character in the DC universe, they're fucking identical. It's Deadshot? Deathshot? Deadshot. It's not Deathstroke. It's Deadshot. They really fucked up. If they were going to do a Suicide Squad movie and they wanted to separate themselves from the previous one, they absolutely, positively needed to have a whole new cast and a whole new plot and a whole new everything. It was stupid. It didn't make any sense the way they did it. And that's why no one saw it. So, anyway. Thank you, Devin, for the super chat. And Dan the Man has re-upped his membership for 16 months. Thank you, Dan. He says, hey, Phil. What's going on, Dan? Good to have you. Okay. Excuse me. What's hilarious is that Drew Diligence says so many things fly over Phil's head. Yeah. Just like everyone else. Because, again, the movie didn't do well. I hate to tell you this. They were expecting this to be a giant, big budget, humongous, you know, win for DC. And the movie completely underperformed. Like, way under expectations. Like, they were hoping for this to be a big franchise deal to reboot the DC universe. And it did nothing for them at all. So, if it went over my head, it went over everyone else's head, too. That's a problem. Okay, we're going to get to tips now. Our first tip is actually... Let's see here. Hold on. What happened? Here we go. I was going to say, I said there's an overnight tip that I got, but I couldn't find it. Here it is. So I received an overnight tip for $2.25 from Burger King fan. Okay? Someone overnight was thinking about Burger King and thought to tip me about it. Okay. What's your favorite item at Burger King? Why is Burger King the best restaurant in America? They are not the best restaurant in America. However, my favorite item at Burger King has always been the Whopper. The Whopper has been the consistently good sandwich at Burger King for years and years and years. They never really change it. It's the same flame broiled patty. It's usually the same size. Lettuce, tomato, onion, pickles, you know, mayo, ketchup on a sesame seed bun. It's good. It's a consistently good, tasty burger. If you go to Burger King and you get the Whopper, you pretty much know exactly what you're going to get every time. Other things, I want their chicken sandwich. Dude, they changed their chicken sandwich 10 times in 10 years. You never know what you're going to get. You don't. And even other things, they've changed the quality over the years. But definitely, the Whopper is the consistent thing that I would go to Burger King to eat. So, Whopper all the way. But they are definitely not the best restaurant in America. That is a gross over-exaggeration. Okay. I received a $2 tip from an anonymous tipper saying, I'm chilling to your stream while cleaning the house. I love hearing your joyful laugh. It's very infectious. Any chance you can play a soccer game like eFootball, which is free on your late night streams? Because the thing is, I'm not big into sports at all, first of all. And then on top of that, out of all the sports out there, like baseball, American football, or basketball, soccer / football everywhere else outside the U.S., it's probably the sport I'm the least into. I don't know much about it. It's not very popular here in the United States. Unless you actively are seeking it out, it's actually hard to even, like, follow it. So I don't even really understand the rules that well. So if I were to play a sports video game, likely a soccer game / football game would be one of the least most likely. I did try to play FIFA one year. I had no idea what the hell I was doing. People didn't really like it. And within, you know, about 10 hours, 12 hours or so, I basically dropped it because no one really wanted me to continue it. So, you know, I'm just saying, I've tried it. It didn't really work. So I don't think that, sadly, it's something that people are really that interested in. If that ever changed, if there really was a big demand to see me play it, maybe I would consider it. But I think, isn't it cheaper because I have the Game Pass Ultimate, and Game Pass Ultimate has the EA Play under it or something? So I think if I wanted to get a FIFA game, it would be cheaper for me. I don't exactly know how that works. But, yeah, I just don't have much interest in it. Now you're talking about eFootball. That sounds to me like you said is a free, a more indie-style game. Again, I don't know much about it, so I don't really think people would be too invested or too interested in me jumping into a football game and playing it on late streams when I don't know what the hell I'm doing and I'm not really caring about the sport, right? Like, I'll give you some perspective. The most recent sports playthrough I did was several years ago, and it was MLB. And even then, I didn't really care about it. What it was I would sit there at bat, and as I was trying to hit the ball, I would interact with the audience. Sometimes we would do a karaoke session. People would give me songs to sing, and I'd be singing the song as I was trying to hit the ball. Because the game outside of that isn't that interesting. You know, I'm not into the sport, so you got to kind of focus on other stuff, right? So that's what I mean. Yeah, I don't think that it would really work out. I'm being honest. I mean, maybe you disagree, and if you disagree, that's great. Let me know. But for me, I don't think that a game like that is really going to be too riveting to the audience, nor me. So, okay. Oh, I got another dollar tip. This is actually the soccer question is from Hotel Dude. I forgot to put my name in the tip. Okay. Thank you, Hotel Dude. So that's another dollar tip on top of that. I appreciate that. Okay. I received a dollar tip from James. Why are you a prolific and successful YouTuber? Why am I prolific? Because I like making content. Prolific means that you make a lot of content. You're busy, you're arduous. You know what I'm saying? And I am. If you look at my 15-year history of being a YouTuber, I have arguably put up some of the most amount of content of anyone, especially someone doing a channel by themselves. It's not like I'm a business with a team of people and we're all working together to constantly pump out videos. It's just me. 15 years of my life have been shared with you guys publicly on the internet. So prolific is right. Now, successful depends on what you measure levels of success, okay? Do I have a following? Yes, I do. Is this following positive? Some are, some are not. A lot are toxic because the internet is a toxic, fucked up place. But I do have a positive following of people as well. Do I make a living doing it? Yes, I do. I'm allowed to make a living doing it, which is nice to do what you love and also be able to make a living doing it. A lot of people can't say that they do that. But am I popular? Am I exploding with YouTube algorithmic success? No. And a lot of that is due to me and my choices because I don't want to be. I know that in order to hit it big on YouTube, I would have to change the kind of person and content that I make, or the kind of person I am and the content that I make. I would have to essentially sell out to people who want toxic content, which I refuse to make. I don't want to sit here and make that kind of stuff. So because I choose to make curated style content for a certain audience, I have purposefully limited myself to be in a certain level of content creation. I absolutely positively could get more popular if I chose to change. But it would, in my mind, it would be changing for the worse. And I don't want to change for the worse. I want to continue to make what I feel is meaningful and positive content for the people who like that style of content, because that's who I want to be in my life. I don't want to degrade myself and change in order to become popular and be more successful. So, again, am I successful? Well, I make a living doing it. I am technically a professional content creator. But am I blowing up with popularity? Am I getting tons of notoriety? No. I'm staying small time on purpose because I don't want to have to contort, distort, corrupt, change, mutate what I do in order to get personal gain. So there you go. I received another tip. Let's see here. Someone asking to get unbanned. I don't unban people on the fly via tips, so that's a waste of your time. I received a $3 tip. I recommend checking out a new movie, Hellraiser, on Hulu. Maybe review it. It's disturbing and the new Hellpriest is superb. Beware the gore. Well, first of all, the movie's from last year. Already, I can tell you immediately, people probably wouldn't be interested in me reviewing it for some odd reason. Everything I've tried to review that's older, no one cared. The thing that people really cared about was the Joker movie and the Last of Us TV show. And that's it. Oh, I take that back. The Whale. When I reviewed The Whale, that also did well. But outside of that, when I'm doing reviews in the last like month or two, struggling to get 500 views. So I'm going out of my way to watch these movies and try to do a review of it, and you know, it's just not picking up. No one seems to care, so I'm gonna wait. This seems like I mean, very well could be a good movie, but I didn't see it. I don't have Hulu anymore. I canceled Hulu, and I have no plans to get it back anytime soon. By the way, if you're not aware, Hulu is merging with Disney Plus, and it seems like they're going to be the same service, much like how HBO Max is now becoming just Max, and they're fusing with shows like what is it, like Discovery Network, the Learning Channel, all those like reality shows and shit are all going to be merged with it now into one service this month. Within a few days, I think they're doing it. It seems like a lot of these streaming services are finally merging together, which makes sense. I said, when they started coming out with these services, first it was just Netflix. Then all of a sudden you had major competitors, right? Like Hulu, and other TV, and then you had Disney Plus. But now you got, oh, Paramount Plus, Peacock, Apple TV, you know, we keep going on. There's like 20, 30 of them. It's like, how many services do you expect me to get? And if you're charging me $10 a month on each, if I get them all, I'm paying more than this than if I had cable, which includes all the fucking channels anyway. So what am I doing, right? It'd be stupid. So now what's happening is they're fusing a lot of these together to become hybrid streaming services. So that way you don't need 12, 13 subscriptions a month. I do feel like that will do better than what they're doing right now, because the nickel and diming is not working. Essentially, it's just becoming just as bad as cable, and people are wising up to it. So we'll see. We'll see what happens, but I don't even have Hulu anymore, because I don't have Disney Plus either. Maybe one day I would get it back if there's a new show on there you want me to watch, but for now, I don't have it. Okay. I received a $2.25 tip from Bob Hoskins. Rest in peace, Bob Hoskins, a great actor. We'll be playing any future South Park games. THQ Nordic got rights to make the next South Park game, and I'm excited for it to come out. I don't know. It depends on what it is. It all depends on what it is. You know, the Stick of Truth was absolutely outstanding. The Fractured Butthole was okay. So I don't know what they're going to be doing next. It really, I guess I would say it depends on what they're doing next. Okay. All right, and then I received. See here, ladies and gentlemen, I received a $100 tip from Jinx. Where is it? Here it is. $100 tip from Jinx. Thank you, Jinx. Obviously, the largest contribution of the day so far, that is. Let's get Jinx up on the leaderboard. That means we're going to have Gunner glasses and a hat right off the bat. And we'll be working towards the vest over the course of the stream. Very cool. Alright. So, thank you, Jinx. Let's get the Gunner glasses on. Let's get the poll going for the hat. And then we'll read what he has to say. Let's do it in that order. So, good chance that the streak will continue. Right now, we're at 14 straight streams. Will we see 15 today? There's a very good chance. Because that is an amazing start for the stream, that's for sure. Okay. Hat poll. Which hat is Zelda best? The Los Santos cap. We just wore the Bender hat last night. The cowboy hat, the beret, or the blue digital camo hat. There we go. So, Jinx says the following. Hope you are doing well today. I had a good night. I wanted to say happy birthday to my little sister. I also can't wait to see gameplay today. The ability in progress also tonight. I can't say how hyped I am for the fight and feast. It'll be good, but let's keep positivity going. Thank you, Jinx. Thank you so much, Jinx. Yeah, the fight and feast will be something special. It will. Something different. You know, I got 2 tier makers lined up that are going to be good. We're going to do some retro gaming. We're going to eat some food. And, you know, even the Battle Royale to end it should be fun. So it's going to be a special day for sure. I hope people will join and hang out and have a chill day with me all day Sunday for the fight and feast. Okay. So, thank you, Jinx. People are now voting for a hat, okay? I think we've gotten through all the shout-outs at this point. I think. Well, I've been playing Aliens Dark Ascent, a real-time strategy game, asked Abdullah. I don't know anything about it. I've heard nothing of this. And if it's a real-time strategy game, likely it doesn't really fit into the content I do on stream. But I'd be open to it if people, you know, tell me about it and say they want it. First I'm hearing of it. Alright, if you would like to ask me a question, please tag me in the stream chat. Now will be the opportunity. We still have some extra time for Q&A. Did I do a Street Fighter tier maker yet? We have 2 lined up. One is going to be ranking fighting game franchises, and the other is going to be ranking Street Fighter characters, okay? We're definitely doing one. If you guys want to do both, we can do both on Sunday, but I'll probably let you vote. There's going to be a lot of voting on Sunday, voting on what game you want to see me play, what character I play in the game, what tier maker we do, all right? There's going to be a lot of interaction on Sunday streams here on the chat, so. Guts has just re-upped his membership for 5 months. As a fellow old viewer, I will say keep on, keep it on. Thank you, Guts. Kagome, if you're not here for the fight and feast, it's perfectly fine. You can catch up whenever you want on demand, remember. Do I have Amazon Prime? I do. Any recommendations? Not really. Every once in a while, I watch a random movie on there. But outside of that, I haven't really actively watched anything on, like, Amazon Video, so, no. When I do reviews of retro movies I enjoyed in the past, I mean, I would, but I don't think anyone's going to care. Like, if I went back and I watched Clue the movie, and I reviewed it for you guys, one of my favorite movies of all time, who would care about the review? If you guys aren't watching reviews of recent movies, like I just reviewed the new animated DC movie, League of Superheroes, alright, which is brand new, it came out a week ago. I reviewed it the day after it came out, and it got 400 views. So, if you don't care about the new movies, how many of you are going to care about me reviewing old movies? If you want me to review old movies, I will. There's a lot of old movies I'd love to review. Things that are classics from, you know, me growing up. I just have to figure out where I can watch them on demand, you know? But, that's your call. Radical Jaws has done a super chat. I'm lurking and cleaning a vandalized wall at work. Oh, I'm sorry to hear someone vandalized a wall. Hold on. Thanks for streaming. Will you enjoy listening to you in my pocket? Alright, thank you, Radical Jaws, for that. Please, don't overwork yourself. King Ezo just did a super chat and says, Phil, do you remember when people thought open world was going to be a fad? Do you think there's still a place for linear style games? Yes. In fact, considering the fact that we're finding out that these games today are having insane budgets, right? And a lot of the reason is because they are developing these giant open style, you know, open world map games. I do feel like there's a big marketplace for smaller, more linear games. For example, if you didn't hear, Assassin's Creed is coming out with a new game this year called Mirage, and this is going back to the classic formula of being set in a more linear style, smaller map, smaller scope, shorter play length. You know, it's only going to be about 20 hours long, but I think that makes sense because the last few Assassin's Creed games have been like 80 hours long. And let's face it, out of 80 hours, like 40 hours, 50 hours is padding. So instead of having open world shit that's boring, just make it streamlined and based on more interesting story and make everything more meaningful. Because that's the problem with these open world games, they throw so much content into them that a lot of the content just seems completely unmeaningful. For example, last year I'm playing Horizon Forbidden West, and I decided to explore a little bit, and I find this village, all right? And the village is interesting. It's got its own plot line. The people are being attacked by certain creatures. You have to go through multiple things trying to defeat the creatures, finding a way to, you know, send them away. It takes maybe like 2 hours to do this whole plot line for the quest. You know, it's part of the a side quest for the game. The end, you save the village. They're rescued. The animals are gone. Good. Here's your reward. Oh, okay, thanks. It's a bow that's shitty. Yeah, it's the sacred bow of our village. Here you go. Make use of it. I can't. It's shit. Everything I have is better than this. So why did I just waste 2 hours of my time? Oh, well, that was an open world side quest. You didn't have to do it. Oh, but you see my point? Is it seems like a lot of the times with these open world games, it's quantity over quality. They don't understand that just throwing content into a game doesn't make it meaningful. You need meaningful content, or else you're just adding hours onto a game experience that aren't necessarily fun. And I think that's the problem, is that's what the open world games have done. They task these different teams. You're the open world team. Put a bunch of side content out in the world. You're the story team. You work on the story. You're the combat team. You work on it. But they don't have someone to sit down and coherently put it together so it all feels balanced and meaningful. Instead, you've got a story that's good and everything extra is just time waster. You know? This happens in a lot of these games. I mean, holy shit, was Assassin's Creed Valhalla bloated. Bloated to shit with side content that didn't mean anything. So, yeah, I do believe that these open world games have gone way too high budget and they're too demanding on the game dev teams, and they do need to maybe scale it back a bit and try to make things a little bit more reasonable, in my opinion. So, I received a tip here. Let's take a look. Looks like you guys are voting for the cowboy hat today. Spawn Killer tipped me $1.25, says there's an Amazon show. It's called Terminal List. It's good. Chris Pratt is in it. Oh, never heard of it. Is it new? Is it old? What is it? Again, I feel like if you guys want me to review something, that I kind of have to jump onto it early on. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a new show, and I have to review it maybe within a couple of weeks of it coming out. Or like I did with The Last of Us, every week I'm reviewing the new episode. That seems to work. But reviewing stuff after the fact doesn't seem to matter. So I do need to try to jump on new things as they come out this year. But you guys got to tell me when they're coming out, okay? Okay. So it definitely looks like a cowboy hat. Mishael wants me to check on how many channel members we have. Why? I checked this morning. Are you saying you think there's a significant dip? Because I checked the members this morning and we were at 706. If you really want me to check, I'll check. I don't see what the big deal is, though. Was there a member bomb that expired, perhaps, that you're aware of and I'm not? We're at 706. It's correct. 706 is correct as of this morning. Okay. All right. Let me grab the cowboy hat for you guys. Oh, man. Ooh. Phew. All right. Haven't worn this in a bit. Actually, isn't Ask the King coming up at some point? Ask the King is supposed to be at the end of this month. Oh. I didn't even realize. I seriously didn't even realize. So if we're going to do Ask the King this month, shit. Next week? Man, I don't know how I feel about that. I really don't know how I feel about that. Because we're trying to make a big push to get into Zelda and Star Wars this week. I really don't want to take another major stream away at this point. I'm almost feeling like we should delay Ask the King and do it in June, like late June. I think that makes more sense. At this point, we're in a time crunch, right? So I'm feeling like we should. I think maybe we should do Ask the King in late June and push it a month, right? Because right now we've basically got 2 weeks left to try to get as far in Zelda and Star Wars, to try to finish Final Fantasy V and Oblivion, and maybe wedge Elden Ring back in there. But we've got to get as far as possible. So when Street Fighter 6 comes out, that could be my focus. How am I can't keep taking streams away from gaming. Tomorrow I got my React event, right? Sunday, we got the Fightin' Feast. It's like every week I'm taking multiple days away from the gameplay streams. I can't keep doing this. So I think we do need to change Ask the King. You know, I do believe we need to have this be pushed about at least a month. I think what we'll say is tentatively, let's now have Ask the King be in late June. We'll see how that goes. If we need to move it again, but at this point, guys, were you even thinking about Ask the King? Like, I wasn't. I forgot all about it. I didn't even realize it was supposed to be the end of this month, right? I feel like with the focus we've got on the games and everything, we're doing all right. That we don't need to really do an Ask the King right now either, right? Okay. All right, let's continue. Radical Jaws did another super chat. Captain Lou Mario or Bob Hoskins Mario? Oh, they're both great. They're both great. Seriously. The Bob Hoskins Mario is just so like a flabbergasted, punch-drunk Mario. Because a million stupid things keep happening. And he's just like, I can't believe any of this is happening. There's no way it's real. But obviously it's happening around me. So I'm just, he's on the edge of sanity. Right? Seriously. The Captain Lou Albano Mario is just a plumber. If you ever watch, he's not actually Super Mario at all. It's just him and Luigi dealing with silly skits and things in a basement. They're just like, he's just a freaking Brooklyn plumber. And that's funny in its own right, right? So. I thought you got a hole in that shirt. This shirt? No, you're thinking about the Proto Man shirt. The Proto Man shirt got a big ass hole right in the front. I think it got caught in the washer and it ripped a hole. It kept getting bigger, so I had to get rid of it. This one has no holes. The Mega Man shirt still able to be worn, thank goodness, because it's actually one of my favorite shirts, but it is getting old. It's over a decade old at this point. So, yeah, it's not going to last forever. All right, continuing on. We've got Spawn Killer again. He says it came out last July. Oh, well, there you go. You're talking about a series or a show that's over a year old. Again, when I'm trying to review this older stuff, no one seems to care. The only thing I would say is if you guys really wanted to see me review my classic movies that I really like if you wanted me to actually review Ghostbusters, Clue, you know, some of my favorite movies that I've ever watched over the years, and put out reviews of those, I would consider doing that. Because that's fun. I just have to find ways to watch them digitally that's not expensive. I'm sure a lot of these are on demand from different services that I have. I'd be down for that because those are movies that I've loved and I could really talk about how much I like the funny parts or different things about them, right? But outside of that, like, I don't think doing these newer movies from the last few years are working. Like I said, we'll have to figure it out again. You guys let me know. You guys let me know, would you like to see me maybe review some of my personal favorite movies over the years and talk about why I love them? You like that? Chill Vibes likes that idea. So that makes one person. Review Labyrinth. Dude, that's a hell of a movie, Labyrinth. That is so weird because it's Jim Henson combined with this like fever dream surrealness of David Bowie. You can tell David Bowie had influence over the movie, but it actually makes it better because it's so fucking weird. It's a great movie because you're like, what am I watching? You feel like you're high. He's playing with his balls. Excuse me. Oh, let's see here. Jinx says, I think you would have a lot more fun reviewing your favorite movies, and that would in turn make it more fun for us. Maybe, again, like classics that I grew up watching in the 80s and 90s, reviewing those would be a lot of fun for me, I feel. If that's what you guys want. How would I feel about incorporating reviews into the podcast instead of separate videos? If I'm going to do reviews, it should be a separate video for sure. It's easier to find that way. Like a podcast is good because every day I can talk about things that are going on my streams, daily news and things like that, right? But if you want to see a specific review, how would you know that to watch the May 19th, 2023 episode of the Level 1 podcast to get a review of Labyrinth. How would you know what I mean? How would you know that? So, no, I don't think so. I think it would be separate videos, for sure. Which Mortal Kombat game is my favorite? Probably MK3 or Ultimate MK3. Or, of the modern ones, probably MK9, the reboot, that revived the series. Okay. Mr. Puffy Nipples tipped me $1.25. So my dog managed to jump on my dresser. It chewed up my glasses. Luckily, I have another pair. Your glasses? Of all the things to chew, why would the dog be chewing your glasses up? It's hard metal, and that's weird. It's not like a chew toy, like rawhide, or it's not even something you would say. Like, I can see, oh, it ate my shoe. Well, the shoe is fabric and leather, and that makes sense. The dog would want to chew it. Why would it chew your glasses? That is bizarre. If you take your dog out to your car, does it eat the bumper off your car, too? Like, what kind of dog is this? Anyway, I'm glad you have backups, alright? Okay, I received $1 tip from James. Go to the movies, watch new movies. No one wants to see a review of old movies or movies that have been out for more than a year. Yes, except that the problem there is time. That's really the problem. I get 1 day off a week from streaming. That 1 day off, I have to run around doing errands. A lot of the times we have all of our appointments. This last week, for example, literally our entire day out, we were so booked. We had to do a million things in 1 day. There wasn't a moment to ourselves. We've wanted to see the Super Mario movie. We can't. We just haven't had opportunity. We don't have time to go make an appointment to go fucking spend hours and hours going to see a movie on our day off when we have so many other things to do on that day. Excuse me. So that's why. Sorry, it's not viable. I'm not a giant YouTuber who I could take a day off from streaming and uploading to go watch a movie, come home, do the movie review, and the movie review gets 500,000 views, and I make thousands of dollars on it. I can't do that. I have to be here and work like everyone else. It's like a day away from my job means I don't get paid. So if I take a day off to go watch Super Mario movie, and I come back and I put out a review that gets 1,000 views and I make $2 on it, that's probably a bad decision. Okay? I'm just saying. No, I did not see the 2021 Mortal Kombat, Jeremy Kyle. I never saw it. Maybe that's one to watch. Now, with the hype of Mortal Kombat coming out soon, maybe that's one to watch, right? Perhaps. I got $1 tip. I don't even know what this means. Just listen to this. Shitting robot fight and feast type. Shitting robot fight and feast type. That's literally what the message said. What the hell does that mean? Right? What does that even fucking mean? Shitting robot fight and feast type. Huh? Thanks for the $1 tip. Try English next time. Wow. Robots can't even shit. I've never seen the original Wicker Man. Chill Vibe says, try watching the original Wicker Man from 1973 and review it. I've never seen the original. I've seen some of the Nick Cage version, but not all of it. I think I did play Battlefield Bad Company, too. I think I did. Jinx says, in general, doing things you enjoy or like will make it better for the viewing experience. You can tell when someone doesn't like what they're doing, and that's not fun to watch. I hear ya. I do hear ya on that one. I really do. You can tell when there's passion coming through, or if it's someone just going through the motions in order to essentially put out a day's work, right? I hear you. I totally understand that, really. What I am happy to tell you is that the vast majority of the time that I'm here on stream, I'm having a great time. I really am having a good time. There's some days, if I'm playing a game that's kind of a slog, I'm like, oh my god, we're still going through this part or whatever. Yes, then it could be frustrating. But, for the most part, I'm enjoying what I'm doing here with you guys 90% of the time. It's never going to be 100%. You know what I mean? Never is a good life going to be perfect. There's going to be times that are a little bit annoying. But for the most part, yes, I enjoy the stuff that we do together on every single stream. Ah, there you go. Daniel says review the original Mortal Kombat movie. How about that? How about, now here's an idea. Okay, I've got an idea. How about this? Let's see how you guys like this idea. With the impending release of these games coming out, how about I review the movies leading up to the release of the games? So, for example, Street Fighter 6 is coming out. So, I need to search, and can you guys at least help me to find out, where could I find Street Fighter related movies? Where can I get the original Street Fighter movie, or Street Fighter 2 movie? You know, the one with Jean-Claude Van Damme? Because I'd like to watch and review that. Where can I then get the Street Fighter animated movie and watch and review that? Because that's really good. Street Fighter 2, the animated movie, is a really good movie. It's like super good. I owned it on VHS. I watched the shit out of it back in the 90s, right? And then, I don't know. See, I haven't seen the others. Like, I never saw The Legend of Chun-Li. I never saw the Street Fighter Alpha animated movie. So maybe I could watch like 2 or 3 movies pertinent to the game coming out. With Mortal Kombat, I could review the original Mortal Kombat movie. I could review the sequel, Annihilation, and then I could review the modern one from 2021 and do 3 reviews of each movie to hype up Mortal Kombat 1 coming out in September. You see? So there you go. Let's see. Let me know if that sounds good to you, if that sounds like an idea that would appeal to you, something you'd like to see me do and review, and if you'd watch it, you know, it would make more sense to do that leading up to a game coming out, as opposed to me just picking a movie out of nowhere willy-nilly. Maybe we could do that. Maybe we could do timed things pertinent to stuff coming out, and in addition, then maybe I could also review some things that I really love, right? Were there? I didn't even know that. I'm being told there's Mortal Kombat animated movies. I didn't even know they existed. Crispy Papas, I'm happy to hear you're enjoying the stream while at work. No, I do not have a Cameo account. No, Abdullah, I don't have a Cameo account. What I do have is a Patreon at patreon.com/DarkSidePhil. And if you pledge $50 to my Patreon, you get a private video. If you literally want it to be like a Cameo video where you ask me questions and I answer them or whatever, it could be that. If you want it to be a private react video, I can make that for you. But it's always been for a $50 pledge, you earn a private video on my Patreon. Ever since I launched it like 8 years ago. But some people just, for some reason, it doesn't jive in their heads that this has existed forever. I was doing that before Cameo existed. Oh yeah? Inara says The Legend of Chun-Li is actually on HBO Max. I heard it was terrible though. I heard it has like nothing to do with Street Fighter. It's really shitty. Yes, the 1994 Street Fighter 2 animated movie Radical Jaws is the one I'm talking about. I owned that on VHS tape. I watched the shit out of it. I loved it. That's great. It's great animation. The plot is actually really good. It's very well done. Oh yeah, everyone says the Chun-Li movie's terrible. Okay. Yes, I have seen Fantasia. The original Fantasia? Yes, I've definitely seen it. Pickleman says, do I have questions for him today? No, not really. Can't think of anything off the top of my head. If something comes up, I'll let you know. I received an anonymous $10 tip. Why are my tips not going through? Did I do something wrong or is PayPal broken? No, not to my knowledge. However, if you're tipping dramatic bullshit that derails the stream, I don't read that on stream. It's very possible that you're tipping fucking derailing dramatic bullshit, which I'm ignoring. I'm not wasting time on drama. So if you're bringing up drama, I'm never going to read it, ever. I mean, it's pinned to the goddamn stream chat right now. So maybe that's what it is. Or maybe there really is an issue and you're trying to tip and it's not going through. I don't know. But I'm not wasting my time on bullshit. I received an $8 tip from Radical Jaws. He says, I have a question for your Magic 8 Ball. When I get home tonight, I'm going to play Zelda. Should I get my way into the Gerudo Desert to get my ass burned by flames in the desert or not? So, Gerudo Desert or not for Radical Jaws? First of all, let's play his animation. Thank you for the $8 8-ball tip. By the way, Radical Jaws is literally the only person who asked the 8-ball any questions now. You notice that? Like, the only person? Everyone else forgot about the 8-ball gimmick. If you tip $8, you can ask the 8-ball question. All right. So, Radical Jaws wants to know, Gerudo Desert or no? 8-ball says, yes. Literally just yes. Y-E-S. So there you go. Okay. Okay. Warm P. Tip me $1.25. So I remember seeing you had a DVD copy of Street Fighter on your Instagram. Yes, many, many years ago, I had Street Fighter the movie on Blu-ray. That is correct. I'm pretty sure that collection was traded in many years ago for some quick money at a time when I was going through my bankruptcy and I needed the money just to pay bills and stuff. Most of my DVD collection was sold off. So I'm pretty confident I don't have that anymore. Yes, Jinx, if you tip $8 in a tip, you can ask the 8-ball questions. That is correct. We've been doing that since last year. He says, I could have been asking the 8-ball questions. Yes, absolutely you could have. Would I interview Andy Dick for the show? Pfft. From what I'm going to understand, Andy Dick's life is really fucked up. Like, the guy kind of, he went off the deep end. He got heavy in the drug use. And essentially is on the borderline of being arrested for, like, misconduct and stuff. So, I'm pretty sure I would not want to get too involved with that guy. You know, outside of him having his voice in my intro for, like, a year on the show, which was kind of funny. Outside of that, I've heard some pretty heavy, bad stuff going on with the guy in his real life. So, maybe it's best that he's not in the intro of the show anymore. Just saying. Sweet says, why do you humor discussing names that tip you? Because I think people are just trying to get a rise or they're trying to get attention. But if you notice, their messages are normal. It's just that, oh, let's have Phil say something stupid and everyone says, haha, and then you move on. I'd much rather have people be normal, have a stupid name, than ask a really stupid drama question. Because I'm just going to skip the drama questions. Like I said, there was a couple tips this morning that were flat out drama questions. So I just ignored them. And then I get another follow-up tip. Oh, why aren't you reading my tips? Probably because you asked dumb drama questions, and I'm going to ignore them then, right? So, there you go. What console is my biggest video game collection? What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that, Aspire? Can you rephrase? Because I don't understand the question. By the way, guys, we're getting near the end of the show. We got to end soon. I know you guys love the Q&A. I do too, but we do have to get into Zelda at some point. So final chance if you want to ask me a question or whatever. What's up, Gabriel? How are you? What console do I have the most games for? You mean currently? I have no idea, because I have a digital library of games on PlayStation and Xbox, and I've never compared the two to see what I own more digital games for. If you mean physical, I don't have a physical library of games anywhere. I don't. I have those few retro games we found in my closet last year. I have those, and that's it. I don't have an actual collection. I don't collect games. Where can you find a playlist for DSP songs? Type exclamation point playlist into the chat right now, and Nightbot should pump up the link for you. Where's the vest poll? Well, there's no vest yet. We didn't hit our funding goal to do with the vest. That's why there's no vest poll yet. See, this is funny. Tuck Tuckerson says, do you see a redemption arc being possible for you? If so, what do you think has to happen? Here's the thing. For a redemption arc to happen, okay, someone had to have had fallen, okay? I was popular like over 10 years ago at a time when YouTube was into a certain kind of content. Then I basically became the whipping boy through memes and This Is How You Don't Play for a decade or more. But I still make content for an audience that likes me. There's a lot of idiots who don't like me, but that doesn't mean that I fell from grace. I never had the grace to begin with. I was never a virally popular person. That when you're talking about redemption arc, you look at someone who literally everyone is crapping on the internet, but they're not getting any positivity. They're not getting any kind of love. They're barely scraping by, and then all of a sudden something turns around for them, and now everyone likes them. How is that going to happen for me? The only way, again, that would happen is for me to completely change who I am. The kind of content I make, I'm literally never going to be popular. You understand? YouTube video consumption is not for the kind of content I put out. It's not. They want drama. They want crazy stunts. They want stupid behavior. They want, you know what I'm saying? They want clown jokes. They want dumb shit. That's what's popular on YouTube. Immature nonsense. I don't put out immature nonsense. So, unless I completely changed who I was on YouTube to buy into the drama, I would never blow up on YouTube. Therefore, a redemption arc isn't possible because I don't want to be redeemed by these idiots. I don't want fucking morons and clowns watching my content because I changed to be what they want to digest. I would rather make the meaningful content I like to make, and I have enough support to keep making. You understand? That's the difference. And that's what people don't understand. I can't believe he won't take the money or do this. You're right. You can't believe it because you have a closed mind and you don't understand that I'm happy doing what I do and being who I am. I don't have to answer to anyone. I don't have to change who I am to be happy because I already am. The people who have these redemption arcs, they're miserable people. Oh, I hate who I am. I'm stuck in a rut. I got to do the same thing. It's not me. It's literally not me. I love coming here to streams and making this content with you guys every single day. That's why I'm here. I wouldn't be here if I didn't enjoy it. I would find something else to do, or I would absolutely bank and capitalize on the drama and the shit. I don't want to. I like who I am. I like the meaningful content I'm putting out, the curated content for a certain audience. You understand? That's correct. Tuto Carlson says, I think Wings is now happy because he has a redemption arc. Wings literally sat on his streams every day saying he hated it. He hated his work. He hated his life. He was saying miserable things like this, that he was stuck in a rut doing things he didn't like. Now he likes what he's doing. Good for him. That's the redemption arc. Someone who was at the bottom and found a way to turn it around and now is on a positive momentum. That's called a redemption arc. There you go. I like what I do. So does my audience. Everyone else just needs to leave me the fuck alone and stop trying to change me into some corrupted individual I don't want to be. I'm happy being Darkside Phil, the guy who's a small-time rinky-dink guy who has content for a small audience, and we can have this personal interaction and a good time every day. You understand? That's what it's all about. There's very different, right? I'm not miserable. I'm not sad. I like who I am and what I'm doing. I want to stay that person, and being that person and that level of content will never blow up and be redeemed on YouTube because that's not what they want. They want to see me blow up in popularity for being a clown. I'm not ever going to be a clown. You understand? This is not going to happen. No one's making any valid points. Someone says, you have bubble guns and you wear costumes for money. And what am I doing when we're doing that silly stuff? We have a laugh, and then we move on to doing more gameplay, to having more meaningful conversation, right? You're not tuning into the Darkside Phil stream because you wanted to see me put on a cowboy hat, or because you wanted to see me shoot a bubble gun for 2 seconds. The people who are actually here for the content, the people who contribute to the content, are here for the content. Those things are nice. They're little frivolous things you could do that are nice, that add to it. It's a little bit of a celebration. It's a little silly. You know, sometimes you get a little silly to celebrate if someone's being nice to you, right? But that's not the end-all be-all of my content. You understand that? That's the difference, right? That's the big difference here. The point is, people can't see the truth because they don't want to, right? When you look at people who have hit their redemption arcs, because they hit their lowest lows. They hated who they were. They hated the content they were putting out. They didn't see a way out. And then somehow something turned around for them, right? But that's not me. I'm not, people want, trust me, people want me to be miserable. People say all the time, oh, we believe that Phil hates his content, hates his audience, hates all this. It couldn't be further from the truth. But that's what they want. They want to believe that because they can't believe that someone like me is happy putting out small-time content. They can't believe it. What? Phil actually just wants to make this content for his small audience? Yes. Yes, I really do. That's actually, back in the day when I started on YouTube, that's what I was intending. That I would have a small audience who'd like this silly stuff that I was putting out. I never really took it that seriously. It was just kind of a silly, frivolous hobby, a joke. I never intended to become someone who did this for a living. I never intended to blow up on YouTube, you know what I mean? It just kind of happened, and then it kind of unhappened when people decided it was more funny to make fun of me and bring me down, right, than it was to actually be a part of the positivity of the content I was putting out. The people who say shit like that, oh, you know, Phil needs to be redeemed, they don't watch the content, nor do they want to. They would never just watch the content to understand the positivity we have here. They want to believe that I'm a miserable individual who hates his life and needs to be redeemed because it makes them feel better about themselves and the shit that they put out. They don't get it because they're not there. It's kind of like I say about my marriage, too. If you've never been happy and in a position where you're truly happy, you would never understand someone who's happy because you haven't had it. You maybe even believe it doesn't exist. There are people who cannot believe that I'm happy sitting here putting out this content for you every day. That he's a liar. He's making it up. He, you know, oh, I have evidence that he hates his job and he hates his viewing audience. What are you talking about? Again, I have opportunity. I have so many opportunities to do other shit that people are offering me on a daily basis. Go do a podcast, do this kind of content, this show, join us for this. I don't want to do any of it. I just love who I am and what I'm doing now, and this is what I want. I want this to evolve into more things as I get older that I control. I am the master of my own destiny, nobody else. No one else is going to lock me into something that I can't control, and now that's when I would truly be miserable. If I gave up control of who I am, all right, in order to make money. That would essentially be the ultimate failure for me. And if you want to see Darkside Phil unhappy, that's when I would be unhappy. But being that I am the master of my destiny right now and no one can tell me what to do or what kind of content to put out, that's where it's at, man. And, you know, there's highs and lows. There's times of popularity and there's times of strife. And there's all kinds of stuff that happens and goes along hand in hand with that. But the fact that no matter what, I still am able to have fun with you guys on a daily basis. We're still able to love this kind of positive, non-destructive content. And that's a big key factor. What I'm making here on streams every day is not destructive to anyone. No one's being hurt by it. No one's being brought down, derided. No one's, you know what I mean? It's fun, positive content. That's what I strive to do for the rest of my life if I can. You understand? I just want to have fun and play games and interact and help people in some way every day and not have to hurt others to get ahead. But that's what people on the internet who think about these redemption arcs don't understand. They don't get that. Oh, how could he like who he is or what he's doing? He needs redemption. No, I don't. What I need is for you to leave me the fuck alone and mind your own business and move on. No one needs saving here. If anyone, you do. If you're so infatuated with me, you're the one with the fucking problem, not me. I'm doing all right. Okay. Anyway. Oh, my chat is screwed up. Hold on. Okay. We do have to adjourn the show. It's gone way too long, guys. Jimmy tipped me $1. Thank you, Jimmy. There we go. And someone to me $1.25 says, I remember when you had your brown chair. If you hit a certain level, you would do a chair spin. I miss when you did that. Well, that was certainly a different kind of chair. It was a piece of crap, by the way, and it ended up breaking down because of that too. That's what I mean. Those silly little things, right? Oh, Phil hit a support goal, so he spun in his chair for like 20 seconds. Phil hit a support goal. He puts on a hat, or he puts on a pair of glasses. Oh, you see, you're a clown. How? Is this the focus of the stream? No, it's not. What are you talking about? But again, they have to justify. They can't believe that someone like me could be happy and successful. They can't stand it. But wait, you didn't degrade yourself. You didn't act like an asshole. You didn't completely sell out. You didn't do this. You didn't do the things everyone else is doing. How is that possible? Want to know why? Because I fucking ignored you. That's why. Because I ignored you and your shit. And your shitty way of living. And your shitty lack of morality and philosophy. There you go. Okay. I look like a native Oklahoman in a hat, I'm being told. That's interesting. All right. My friends, I think it is time to adjourn our show for today. Thank you very much for a more chill show. Like I said, there was way less to talk about in general today. But, of course, then when we go to Q&A, it opens up. I do think we will skip Ask the King this month. I don't see how we could possibly fit it in next week. Being honest, we need to absolutely kind of, hunker down. And we absolutely need to get to a point where we get as far into these games as possible, right? And at this point, we're kind of, I take another day off, another fucking day off from gameplay streaming. We're never going to get any progress. So, Ask the King will go on hiatus. We'll probably bring it back maybe in June. We'll see. But for now, no Ask the King this month. I don't think it makes sense. Okay? Okay. All right, guys. Thank you for a great show. I really appreciate it. All right? Let's jump into Zelda. We're going to actually go to the first dungeon right now. And, thank you for chilling. In the meantime, again, I hope you're all enjoying your spring. I hope your allergies are not bothering you too much. And I hope to see you all again on an awesome episode of the Level 1 Podcast tomorrow. Peace out. See you then.